We were all cherry-cheeked anime fans at some point. Sadly, that time usually ends with a bang. It's time for bad anime shows to get what they finally deserve. No matter how many episodes or how bad it is, I'll prevail and beat them all. It's time for Undroppable. So, yeah. Pupa, which is brought to us by Studio Dean, and is adapted from the original manga series by Sayaka Mogi, with the adaptation hitting screens in winter 2014. So here's that disclaimer you love so much, and let's get to it. So I actually went and watched this twice to get a grasp of what I just watched, which wasn't actually time consuming considering the episodes are only 4 minutes long, with the opening and ending taking up a minute of that time. So it's really easy to get through, as you don't need much of a time commitment. But after watching it twice, I still have no idea what most of it is about. So the overall story we are told is our hero Usatsu and his sister Yume, who come from a broken home, like super broken, with the father having beaten both his wife and then his children. And then after the divorce, the kids are left alone with only each other. Then they get infected with the super virus known as Pupa, which turns Yume into a monster that craves flesh, but not Usatsu. But it does give them both super regenerative powers that would make Wolverine blush. And that's all I know. As then Maria, a scientist who's interested in studying the virus, enters and offers to help the siblings if she can study them, which then the brother takes her up on that. Then the brother offers to Yume that he will be the one that she eats so she doesn't go out and eat random folk and get targeted by random scientists and experimented on. But then Maria, the scientist, ends up taking sperm and eggs from Usatsu and Yume and then birthing weird monster babies with herself as a surrogate. And it's all just really weird stuff like that. It's really interesting, but really weird. The story is really just all over and really confusing to follow the way it's presented to you. It's like someone reading random chapters from a book to you and then asking you about the plot of the story as a whole from these snapshots he's read. So while these snapshots are really interesting and want me knowing more, there just isn't any more. It feels like someone flipped through the manga and took every graphic and shocking scene and told the staff to animate it. So all these scenes are supposed to be hard hitting, they fall flat as there's no build up to them. The sounds they use in the show are really good, as most of the scenes are told through the sound alone with the screen showing something else, leaving it to your imagination about what's happening, which is really good as there is nothing more interesting than something you can't see. And the sound of Yume eating her brother with all the crunching and chewing noises is really haunting to hear. The opening I really do enjoy and would actually like to hear a longer version of the song if it's out there. The ending is okay. It's a very nice song, and coupled with the visuals of Yume being covered in blood, does give the lyrics a very haunting feel to them. So yeah, time to talk about the characters in Pupa. Our main hero Usatsu has all these marks on his skin, like on his face and arms, which are really weird, and it looks like he has some sort of skin problem, but they never actually address it in the show. But from reading around, I actually found out these are burn marks from his father, as his father used to put cigarettes out on him, of which the one on his face must be the same, but I couldn't really find anything out, as well as the flashback where we see him with the scar across his left eye. Also, Yume, while only being a year younger than Usatsu, looks extremely young, which is a bit weird, really. Maria, the scientist, also has the same sort of marks on her skin like Usatsu, but from what we learn about her in the anime, is while she is a very odd one that is very disconnected from the world, she doesn't get presented as someone that would be abused to the point of physical signs on the body, considering she is a genius and well known in the world. So even if her parents were weirded out by her, they could just have an assistant deal with her and not have to bother. Also, the series has these weird sexualizations of both Maria and Yume, with Yume being way more sexualized and not just in the ending, where she is wearing a short white dress that gets splattered with blood, but also in the scenes when she's eating Usatsu and how she half strips to do so. But yes, I know, getting food on your clothes can be a real pain to wash out. But changing into your tank top booty short combo for an evening of eating your brother is still pretty weird. Also, having to utter the phrase, a sister eating her brother, is so innuendo prone, I really hate saying it, but I have to say it as that is literally what is happening on screen. Also, another thing that never gets explained is the importance of the red butterflies, as in the first episode we see Maria tell Yume, beware of the red butterflies, of which a second later Yume is seen with red butterflies flying around her, just saying that they are pretty. So we never really know why they should be wary of them, as while they do appear a lot, they're never explained. all in all, this probably could have been a really good show from the parts we do get shown, but with them hanging with no context like this, it just ruins them. The whole bug theme the author has used throughout this series is really fascinating and does leave a very vivid impression on you, but sadly due to the length of the episodes and the series in a total, the impression is not all that sustaining. If they did redo this with full 30-minute episodes, I would watch it in a heartbeat as it's really tickled my interest. But that's all this one has done, sadly. It's tickled my interest. It hasn't held it down and beat it into submission, which is what I had hoped for. I do know for a fact the original manga is very popular in Japan, thanks to an imagination I watched with Lanky Spirit a while back, with Pupa being popular enough to have its own section dedicated to it alone. But sadly it seems it wasn't that popular enough for Studio Dean to spend much time on it. It looks like another Brunhilde type anime, where a story that showed real promise got messed around, which I really hate seeing done, but it happens sadly. So, I'll see you in the next Undroppable. Also, a quick word at the end. I have recently got myself a job working night shifts, so the uploads will be a bit more sporadic now, but that's only until my rota actually sorts itself out. But once that does, I'll get back to my regular uploading once a week on Tuesdays, so could you guys bear with me until then? And thank you for all the support you've given me so far, I really do appreciate it. So, bye bye!